There are always messages if you're willing to hear, and sometimes it's just a matter of asking the right questions to hear the answer that you need. So in this video, I'm going to give you all of the answers that I got for each sign. But before we do that, let's talk a little bit about spirit guides and how you can start working with them if you haven't already. So the first question is, do spirit guides really exist? And personally, I think it's really bold to think that the only entities that exist are those that we can see with the naked eye, when science has proven many things that exist beyond our everyday limited perception. Your spirit guides are always available to you. And I know a lot of you know that, and I know a lot of you have contact, but some of you don't. So let's just spend a minute here talking about these spirit guides. In the grand design of the universe, destiny intertwines us with guides whose very essence complements the strengths and innate talents we were born with. They are our dedicated partners on our journey of personal growth and enlightenment. They are intelligently and divinely paired with us so that we can advance along our soul's evolutionary path. But most people ignore them. And as you probably already know, it's very difficult for them to help you unless you ask for help. So one of the best ways to ask for help is to look toward astrology. And this is how I started my channeling journey. You can communicate with your guides in many different ways, but over the years, I've found it's really easy to extract specific messages by using astrology to design intelligent questions and ask my guides things like, okay, based on this new moon, eclipse, conjunction, planetary alignment, where am I supposed to go and what am I supposed to do next? Because remember, as above, so below, as within, so without. Astrology is a key indicator of how universal energies are set up in order to assist us on our path, on the path of creation, on the path of healing, on the overall path toward our fate or our destiny. Okay. So if you're trying to receive messages, it's important to remember that this is an intelligent universe. The astrology is intelligent. The multiverse is intelligent. Our earth is intelligent. We are intelligent. So it's really important to start to honor that and recognize that and stop thinking of yourself as this teeny little weenie that has no significance, as opposed to the cosmic citizen that you really are. You are extremely important. And for those of you who don't understand your significance, I hope that you start meditating on how important you are. If you start to tap into your spirit guides, they will crack you over the head with a good one to tell you how important you are. I remember when I first started to really communicate with mine, I was like, wow, I had no idea. I had no idea how powerful I was. I had no idea the things that I could do with my consciousness with a little help from my friends that were placed with me as divine partners for this lifetime. I wish I had tapped into them many years before. It would have saved me a lot of pain and a lot of heartache. But, if I hadn't had all of the traumas and the dramas, I probably would have never tapped into them. So it is what it is, right? So I just want to remind you that you have access to your spirit guides. And while I love the fact that you're here to listen to the messages that I got, I'm going to give you through these messages questions to meditate on, questions to ask your guides so that you can really refine them. Now, all of the questions are listed in my blog, which I'm going to link in the description of the video below. So make sure that you go over there. And as we talk about these messages, listen for the ones for your sun, moon, and rising sign. When you're asking the questions, I highly recommend you are in front of a controlled fire, like in a fireplace. Don't go burn the house down. Or a candle, meditating on the flame of a candle, because that's that Sag energy. It's that fire. And those messages could easily come through that flame. Let's begin with Aries rising. One of the things that comes through for you is ambitious goals, but more so, what are the blocks that are preventing you from getting to those goals? So you want to ask your spirit guides, what is blocking me? Now, the blocks could very likely be in the house where Sagittarius is in your natal chart. If you don't have a natal chart, you can just go to astro.com and download one. You'll need your birth date, the time of birth, and the place of birth. I'll link that in the description of the video below, so it's easy for you to obtain one. But I think for the most part, people who listen to this channel have their birth charts. So you want to look for the blocks, Aries, that are preventing you from moving forward. If nothing rings a bell in the house that you find in your natal chart where Sagittarius is, then just ask your spirit guides, where is the block that is preventing me from accomplishing my big, bad, hairy goal, my hairy, scary goal in 2024. Taurus, it's time to push the limits, ground down, and thrive in a way that you never have before. Remember, Jupiter is in your sign until 2024, so there is ample opportunity to manifest abundance. Ask your guides, what do I do in the way of business, life, and love to expand? You're going to be focusing on your finances over the next 30 days and expanding your self-worth in the area where Sagittarius lives in your natal chart. So really ask them, what am I going to do to expand, but also ground down? Because Sagittarius energy is a very fast moving, forward pacing energy, but you also want to ground down. I encourage you to read the blog because I go a little bit more into that sort of balance between grounding and moving forward. Because what you're doing, particularly Taurus, is anchoring something new that is going to be very expansive over the next 30 days, but even more so going into 2024. Gemini, this is a time of co-creation for you, but you need to get your head in the game, which is really hard for you. Part of your journey over the next 30 days is single-minded focus. So you want to ask your guides, what can I do over the next 30 days in ways of partnerships that can help me keep that single-minded focus? So you might have a co-creative partner in, say, business who is really, really good at tech, but you're really, really good at creativity. But the tech and the creativity need to go hand in hand. So that single-minded focus is going to be you doing you, but accomplishing the greater aspect of whatever's manifesting for you with a partner. Okay. So you want to ask your guides, what should I do? And more so, I think even, what can I do to maintain this single-minded focus? For you, it might be, contemplative walks. It might be a new daily routine, something to get your head in the game. And I know it's so hard for you. I have two Geminis in my house, my daughter and my son. Cancer, you're definitely ready for deeper connections that could lead you down a new path. This path has been meant for you for a very long time. So you're going to want to look for Sagittarius in your chart, and depending on the house or houses, you're going to ask your guides, who lives in this house with me? Now, don't overlook the fact that yes, it might be a spouse, yes, it might be a coworker, but it could be your shadow. It could be a trauma. It could be a drama. It could be self-doubt. It could be lack of self-worth. Okay? So you want to ask your guides, who lives in this house with me? What is preventing me from really going on that path? Because remember, this, for all signs, is a journey of either going within or moving forward. Really important. And again, you might want to read the blog because I go on a little bit more about that. Leo, every 30 days is like a new stage for you, and you always have the leading role. I know, because I'm a Leo sun. You want to look to Sagittarius in your chart. If it's in, say, the first house, the story over the next 30 days is all about you, which I'm sure you're extremely pleased to hear. If it's in the second house, it could be about money, which means you need to build the character to manifest more. And that was so strong when this was coming in. When you take stage, you need to think less from the ego and more from the heart, even though both are associated with you. You are that heart chakra energy, but you're also the ego, which is sort of the mental faculty, because you think more about yourself than the end goal, right? So you want to think about the character that achieved the manifestation, that role. Okay, that is the character role that you need to play. So you want to ask your guides, what character do I need to build right now? How can I play this part better in a way that makes things manifest either faster or cleaner or more long-term so that they're really anchored into reality. Virgo, over the next 30 days, your relationships are either going to uplift and inspire you into higher levels of consciousness or drag you down. This moon is simple, just the way you like it. All you have to do is ask, should I stay or should I go? You know that song? Should I stay or should I go now? That's your theme song. Okay. Seriously, meditate on it. I want you to play it every morning until you figure out which relationships are dragging you down and which relationships are uplifting and inspiring you. Because as you enter the new year, this is going to be extremely important for you. We live in a co-creative universe, and our relationships are the co-creative mechanism that our lives unfold and manifest, Virgo. Keep that in mind. Libra. The biggest thing that will hold you back from advancing along your soul's evolutionary path is power dynamics, 100% of the time. But what I see in a lot of my Libra friends, I have a Libra in the house too, my eldest son, I see that sometimes they will let someone have more control over them than they need to, just to have a superficial sense of harmony in their relationship. But that superficial harmony is not okay. It's never okay. So like Virgo, you're going to ask your guides questions like, what relationships uplift and inspire me into higher levels of consciousness and which bring me down? This is not a negotiation. I know you like to negotiate. You like to negotiate with yourself. You like to negotiate with everybody. But the truth is, it's not a negotiation. You have to clean up your relationships too, just like Virgo. You're looking for the right people to align with in order to manifest what you desire over the next 30 days and going into 2024. Scorpio. Let's face it, you're always going to be invited by the cosmos to go into deeper, richer, and more meaningful transformations. But the cool thing is, in the next 30 days, you have the help of Sagittarius to move forward faster. I know this because I'm a Scorpio rising. It is a painful sign to have, especially as a rising sign. So one of the things I'm asking my guides, what have I been hiding and why? I do this every 30 days because what I found along my own healing journey and throughout my journey of learning astrology and using it as a healing and manifesting tool is that as a Scorpio, we are always hiding something under the surface. There's a lot in the sub and unconscious, and we have to excavate it in order to advance along our evolutionary path. The good news is that you have the Archer's arrow, Sagittarius's arrow, to take you on a ride forward into your next rebirth, which is going to be so beautiful in 2024. Sagittarius, it's your moon, baby. This message is loud and clear. Where are you headed? That's what you want to ask your guides. I would refer to your chart and find the house or houses where this sign is and ask them, what's the next step forward in this area of life for me? You don't have to necessarily use your chart. You may already have a desire to move forward in a certain area of life, and your guides can help you and show you how to get there. You have incredible power to move forward right now, so don't waste it. Capricorn, it's time to celebrate what you've created thus far. As we round out the year, surely your practicality has manifested some very cool things. So you want to focus on what is and give yourself a pat on the back, something that you're not necessarily very good at in a jovial sort of way. You want to get into that higher spirited, that heart chakra energy, that gratitude and be like, yeah, man, I'm a Cap. Like, I definitely manifested some very cool stuff this year. And the more you focus on that, the more you can apply that energy to whatever you want to manifest over the next 30 days and going into 2024. So just ask your guides, how do I expand on what I've created? And for you, you might look at things like, what are the standard operating procedures I've used to manifest this, that, or the other thing? Because that is you. You are an SOP kind of person. You have procedure and you have the routine and the things that like are all perfectly laid out. I'm very jealous of you. I would love to be a Capricorn because I am so not. Aquarius, this is a very cool time for you as you venture forward in the spirit of Sagittarius. And you can, and this is why I do want you to go read the blog because there's a lot of wisdom in it for Aquarius in particular to pick up. But in the spirit of Sagittarius, you can develop personal philosophy, something that you love, throughout your journey forward. So I would be asking your guides, what wisdom do I have already that's going to take me forward over the next 30 days, perhaps toward the greater good of my family, the greater good of my personal well-being, the greater good of my community, or the world at large. Knowing you are probably already 2 steps away from where you're headed, but I get this feeling that you think you're further away. You're closer than you think. So whatever you're trying to manifest over the next 30 days, next year, I want you to really sit back, relax, meditate on this, ask your guide, ask them, am I closer? How far away am I? And what knowledge and wisdom do I already have to be able to advance faster? That Sagittarius energy is here pushing you forward. Pisces. So this energy isn't super favorable for you because you could have a tremendous amount of downloads, like in a way that could make you feel that you are combusting. It's that fiery arrow, like that arrow on fire that's literally hitting in your psyche and blowing things up for you. So you want to be very mindful of creating psychic boundaries. And I have a couple of videos on this channel for creating boundaries. So I'll link them in the description of the video below. Excuse me if they're cringe or I look cringe, because that was back in the day when I was learning my YouTube channel, right? I'm still learning my YouTube channel, and I thank you all for subscribing and staying with me. So how are you going to prepare for the Sag New Moon? All right. So one of the things that I would absolutely be doing, all signs, is focus more on your personal beliefs and motivations. What is driving the manifestations that you are currently experiencing? Look, we're on the cusp of a new year. We're almost there. You can use so much of this to redefine the way you manifest. You manifest through your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs, and your feelings. And so if you start to focus on what are exactly those things, how do I operate on a day-to-day life? Am I living in line with values that are going to support my journey forward? That is so important, because now is the time to really move forward, moving away from old crappy things, shitty beliefs, shitty values, shitty thoughts. It's really time to move forward, and you have the energy of Sagittarius to take you there. Never forget, you are loved.